Welcome to the gameplay demonstration of Immune Defense. I'll be providing an explanation on how to play Immune Defense and how Immune Defense's game components aim to connect the player with real issues and solutions that are defined by UN Millennium Goal 6, combat HIV/AIDS, malaria and other diseases. Immune Defense places the player inside the human body, taking on the role of the immune system defending against disease. In our example, we are in an artery and our goal is to stop the enemy diseases reaching their destination, which in this case is the bottom of the screen. I might take a moment to introduce the various screen elements presented here and describe their relevance to our gameplay. Starting at the top right, we have our player status. The player status displays the current amount of money available to the player to spend and indicates the current health state of the player. The current health state of the player is represented in three ways: our player status smiley face and colour, our health bar here at the top, and an introduction sound that occurs when announcing that a new wave of diseases has started. Each of these three things are updated as our health is affected. Beneath our health bar is our happiness power-up bar, which shows how many happy power-ups we've currently collected. The concept behind the happy power-ups is that happiness can be a powerful cure. When the happy bar is filled, the player can unleash this power, dealing a varying amount of damage to all diseases currently on the screen. Running down the left hand side here, we have our tower selection tool strip. It is here the player can choose from the various tower types to help combat the spread of the diseases. Each tower provides a description of its core function and any attributes or effects it may have, assisting the player to make the choice on what tower to spend their gold on. I want to point out that Immune Defense uses the towers, their function and description to help connect the player with real-world solutions that have direct relevance to our Millennium Goal 6. For example, the antiretroviral tower makes a direct link with a gameplay item used to fight disease and a real-world item also used to fight disease. Beneath our tower selection tool strip is an information panel informing the player how far into the fight they are and how long until the next wave begins. With the introduction of each wave, a sound effect is played informing that a new wave has begun. We find this an innovative feature as it frees the player from having to watch the clock to tell when a new wave is beginning, and it also provides an indication of the current health of the player. The more dire the player's health, the more drastic the sound effect. Okay, let's have a go at actually playing the level and defeating the diseases. With my limited funds available, I only have two tower types available to me: our main attacking tower and a blocking tower. The other towers are greyed out. Since I want to fight the disease, let's choose our antiretroviral tower first. With the tower selected, I can visually see the range of the tower, and as I move the tower around, I can identify any invalid areas where the tower cannot be placed. I'll put the tower right in the middle of the disease's path. This is where it has the best chance of encountering an enemy disease. The diseases start out relatively weak, but as we progress, they will get ever more difficult to defeat. Just as similar to the constraints facing Goal 6, the player will be required to apply a level of resource management to determine the best way to spend their funds to combat the disease. Throughout the game, I have been attempting to collect some of the happy power-ups streaming down the screen. Let's now put them to use. Remember, our happy power-ups do damage to all diseases currently on the screen. We can use the happy power-ups by clicking the happy button just below the health bar. As the disease makes it through the defense, our health is decreased, and we may see and hear the changes to our player's status. We can now afford our other towers. Let's have a look at them. We have our health system tower, fighting to slow down the spread of the disease, and our global fund tower, representing the worldwide organisations raising money for the fight against the diseases. I'll choose to spend funds on the health system to slow the spread of the diseases, and I'll place the tower next to our other tower. As the diseases get in range, we can see our health system in action, turning the diseases blue and slowing their movement. This is the basic gameplay of Immune Defense, and with further progression the player will encounter smarter, tougher diseases, new power-ups and new towers to research and upgrade to combat them. Let's speed up the rest of this level and see how I fared.